Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you my bullet journal setup for 2024. This year I didn't pick up my usual brand of journals, I just went to the craft store and chose a really cheap sketchbook. I think it was around €5. And the pages are 140 grams, so the markers and pens won't be showing through the pages. Let's begin. The theme is declutter. I have boxes and boxes of crafts everywhere and a lot of things that I never want to use because I like them too much, and other things that I don't really like, so I never use them. Like this golden crack effect washi tape that drives me nuts, as it doesn't stick anywhere. So I decided to use this with double-sided tape on the back and some pattern paper that I tear up into pieces so you can see the washi tape showing through. For the title, I'm using metallic pens by Stabilo. I'm writing the year with a copper marker, and then I do a bit of shading with a light green marker and a fine liner pen in between, so it's more visible. I love this washi tape with moons from Notebook Therapy, and this butterfly washi tape that you probably had seen me use endless times, that it seems that never ends. Then I put a sticker from Tim Holtz on the top of the page. I go over the sticker with a green marker and a fine line pen to make it pop, and it's done. Next, I am preparing the future log, where you can put all events, deadlines, etc. in one place. I divide the page into 12 parts, each one for a month of the year. I use washi tape for the background of the title and pieces of leftover pattern paper. Then these letter stickers that I bought from Hobbycraft years ago. I don't have enough left to form complete words, so as you can see here, I'm using an F to make an E. You'll see me do this throughout the whole video. I go over the lines with a fine liner pen, then I put abbreviation of each month in their space. I go over with a green marker so it looks more put together. Then I wrote each calendar month on these sticker strips because it's easier to redo a sticker if I make a mistake. I glue in a few dots and then I go over the borders with distress ink to give the page a bit of texture because it was looking kind of dull, to be honest. Now for this page, I'm using the same washi with double-sided tape on the back, ephemera by Tim Holtz, leftover cutouts and pattern paper. Oh, I think actually the circle in the corner is from some wrapping paper from years ago that I cut with a die cutter. Sometimes I do that with interesting papers because I feel guilty throwing them away. Plus it's free supplies. Then I go over with distress ink. I love to give pages this look of being old and used. I love these kinds of colors and textures. And then I use this beautiful green metallic pen to link everything together. Next, I continue applying distress ink. I go from light to dark. I think it looks better this way when you are using elements that are translucent, having some texture underneath instead of just plain white. Then I tear up this ephemera by Tim Holtz. I added washi tape and pattern paper. I don't know what is going on with my lettering, but I hated it every time I wrote something during this video. So don't worry, most hideous text will be covered at some point. So this page is for my reading challenge for 2024. I'm planning to read 50 books this year, even though I totally failed last year's challenge. I don't know, I left most books unfinished, it was a weird year for me. So I guess this year I'm focusing on finishing everything I left halfway through, starting with my TBR. Here I'm covering the text much better, isn't it? The following page is to keep track of my TBR. I'm going to try not to buy any books until I complete this list. Let's see how it goes, because I know there is a new Stephen King book coming out around May. He writes faster than I read, so we'll see. Oh, one thing that goes through 140 grams of paper is this spray from Tim Holtz, so beware when using it. I'm adding the title with a lettering stamp and archival ink to a piece of pattern paper, some washi tape here and there, and then I did lines with a green marker and added these circle stickers from a planner kit I bought so long ago. They look like they're metal rivets, I love it. The next page is a tracker for my night reading. I'm trying to push myself into reading at least 1 hour before bed. It was a habit that I loved, that I used to have, and slowly lost with different shuttles and everything else. So I'm using the same elements than before, distress inks in the same shades, washi, leftover pattern paper, stamped with archival ink. I think I will end up redoing this tracker because I'm not very convinced with the look of it. The next page is a simple tracker for my health, the other thing I will prioritize this year. I will be filling up every space as I complete objectives. Like I said, this year I will be focusing on declutter, finishing stuff, reading and health. So this next page is for keeping track of the things I need to do around the house to make it feel mine, things I need to fix and not let myself be overwhelmed by it. After so many years of renting, I thought by now I will have everything painted black and nailed to the wall, but I guess I just froze. I did a couple of things and then nothing at all. I also want to do DIY decoration videos and those kinds of things, so this is a place to write all of that. For the month of January, I used packaging paper from a sticker pack and the gold washi tape to keep the aesthetic the same as the cover of the year. Love the color green for the title. I did a bit of shading with a fine line pen and then stained the page with the metallic green marker and a bit of copper too, because everything was looking too beige. I added a little sentiment on the left corner with a butterfly. After that, I'm doing the January calendar page. I'm starting by shading with distress inks like before, in every direction, uneven and mindlessly. I glue in translucent ephemera to opposite corners of the pages so it is more balanced. This time I will not be doing weekly pages because I always end up with a lot of wasted space. So I think for me, it's better to have a calendar to place objectives for the month and simplify my bullet journal. As I'm not really focusing on productivity but on bettering my life and staying on the present. I wrote the month on green letters on the left and added stickers for the days of the week. After that I used a Tombow marker to write the numbers of each day, and then I added more washi tape to cover up mistakes and fill up the space more. Then I go over the lettering with a fine line pen and over the days of the week with a green metallic marker. I'm going to leave space to annotate the books I read this month and leave a little synopsis to remember what I read. I will print out the covers of the books and stick them on the left side where I already have safe space with the worst washi tape in the world. My goal is to read one book a week. I have a few books under 500 pages, but most of them are over 500. That's why I want to implement an hour of reading every night to make sure I don't fall too far off my goal and that I will just give up. Let's go to the end of the journal. Here I'm going to reserve a couple of pages to write down my favorite book of each month and the amount of pages I was able to read. I'm making little folders with various pattern papers. I'm using again distress inks for the background and also on the edges of the folders so they don't blend in. I love how the brown folder in the middle came out because it was a happy accident caused by the distress spray stain by Tim Holtz that I saw you earlier. It really has a great coverage, whether you want it or not, and a very powerful spray, so I will recommend testing it before just going to town with it like I did. I'm using washi tape to align all folders. For the title, I'm just gluing down bits and pieces I have left from previous pages. And again, I hate my handwriting throughout the whole video, so I just cover everything with stickers for the title and also for each month on the folders. And then I repeat everything that I just described you on the next pages to complete the remaining 6 months. I had to size down the stickers to fit better in the folders, and also you'll see that I don't really have all the letters I need, so I fix it manually with a pen. All of this because I couldn't find my smaller lettering stamps, so I just use what I have. This is the reason why I want to declutter so badly this year. I'll be finishing this setup with a gym tracker. I'm just doing one now for the month of January, but I'm leaving enough space to do one every month of the year. I'm doing these trackers at the end of the journal because I like to see the progress I make all together in one place instead of being divided. I'm using the same supplies as before. I added a piece of a page of a book I found on the floor. Don't worry, book lovers, it is from a £1 book that I use for crafting. I know it's still a book, but not a good one, and better than the landfill, I guess. So here it is, the setup for 2024 completed. As you can see, it's a very simple one. I'll be tracking only a few things to feel better. Let me know in the comments what you'll be reading this year and your goals. Remember, you can start this kind of journals at any point of the year with whatever supplies you have around. If you want to see more bullet journal ideas, you can watch this playlist, link below. Thank you all for watching.